Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy.
And I'm Lucas.
And welcome back to Patched, and today we're going to be reviewing a very peculiar mouse, this one, and it is the Delux M800DB. No, it's actually this one. This is the one that I was holding was the Viper Ultimate. I got you guys. Ha ha ha, hilarious. Yeah, but this is literally a knockoff of the Viper, or the Razer Viper, or I guess the Viper Ultimate. The shape is pretty much the exact same. The price is $35.99 though, so pretty damn cheap. And if you guys do want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. And if you guys want to check us out on Twitch, our Twitch channel is right over here.
Yeah, now the thing that a lot of people are marketing this as for the company is like a Viper Mini Wireless, which is something that a lot of people have wanted. So I mean, that's definitely an eye-catching title. And it's somewhere in between the Viper Mini and the Viper Ultimate in terms of size, but in terms of performance, I mean, we'll see how it stacks up. We'll see. So, as far as the shape goes, it's exactly a Viper Ultimate or a Viper Mini. It's somewhere in between in terms of size.
Yeah.
But like, it's pretty much spot on that. And there's a couple differences that we'll go over in build quality and durability.
As you guys can see, the Viper Ultimate's a little bit, just a tiny bit longer, like what? Like 3-4 millimeters longer,
yeah,
you would say, right?
Somewhere around there.
But the arch and everything is pretty much the same. So, I mean, it's not like the Viper Ultimate was a huge mouse. So, I mean, if it's a little smaller, that's cool, or I guess shorter. But if you like the shape of the Viper Ultimate, then you're gonna like the shape of the Delux M800. Yeah, so fingertip grip, it's awesome. Palm grip, it's actually pretty damn nice and comfortable. It's a very versatile low to the ground, like low to the desk shape, so it's very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good shape. Now, one of the notable differences is the side buttons. There's actually only side buttons on one side of these. I mean, the good thing is they're actually usable, though. As crappy as they sound when you press them, which we'll get into in a little bit.
All right, so as far as the switches go, we don't know exactly what the switch is, but it's rated for 60 million clicks. And it's actually pretty damn nice. They're optical switches as well. So the mouse 1 and 2 feel way, way better than the Viper Ultimate. As you guys know, Razer's switches feel a little mushy, borderline mushy. But this one has a nice hard click. I feel like it has a little, like too much post travel for me, but that's okay. You don't really notice it as much when you're actually playing it.
Yeah, I feel like out of the $36 that was spent on this, I feel like 30 of that went into the switches that were in here. Because the switches feel really nice. They're optical, they're very hard clicks. They feel really good. I mean, they feel like Kale switches, if I had to guess, like Kale Reds. And that's what I've heard some people rumoring it to be, but there was no sign anywhere on their website, on their Amazon page, anywhere to figure out what actual switches they're using in there.
Yeah, but as Lucas mentioned before, the side buttons are absolutely trash. Like, you guys want to listen to it?
It doesn't like push in all the way either. It just kind of like dead stops. I don't even know what to relate it to.
Not nice. You guys hear that? It sounds crappy. It feels really cheap as well. So I mean, I guess side buttons are usually mushy, but like this feels extra cheap, you know? So that kind of sucks. And then as far as the scroll wheel goes, scroll wheel sucks too. I mean, there's really no steps, dude. It's like just a smooth kind of like roll, dude. There's no steps at all.
Yeah, but you still got the little rubber dips in there, you know, so you can tell. There's definitely steps in here, but they're more defined scrolling down than scrolling up. Not that any of that really matters. I mean, you can scroll and it has a scroll wheel. And there's RGB on it, so it's a lot faster as well.
Of course, yes. And then there is a button here up top for switching the DPI if you would like. So the buttons suck besides the mouse 1 and 2. So there you go. Moving on to the wireless capabilities, right? So we have a cable. It's pretty nice because for 36 bucks, this mouse is wireless. That's really cool. Yeah. And also we have a dongle here that you can store inside of the mouse, which is very convenient if you're like traveling or something. So that's pretty nice. And we have USB-C charging for Lucas.
Yeah.
There's that.
But it also loses points in the sense where it doesn't have what, let's say, a Logitech or a Razer would have, which is that little in-between dongle that stores this so you can keep all this stuff on your desk. So every time you want to charge it, you would have to have both this and this plugged in. I guess you could take this out, but why would you? So you have to take up 2 USB ports whenever you're charging the mouse, which kind of sucks. kind of sucks, and you can't keep it on your desk. There's no convenient way to store any of this stuff, except for this inside of the mouse, I guess.
All right, as far as the skates go, we got some stock regular skates. The color is black, and it's pretty average, I would say. It's overall smooth, but not like super fast, I would say.
Yeah, they're not crazy fast. They're definitely not rounded on the edges. And the bottom one, I feel like is a lot smaller than it should be. Like, it just looks a lot smaller than it would normally be on a mouse like this. The top skate looks up to par though, I would say. As far as the sensor goes on there, you're using a Pixart 3325, and it feels responsive, no complaints there. Wireless connectivity feels good, don't feel any latency on there. There is a version of this that's sold with a 3335, but we couldn't find any way to purchase it at all.
Because that's the reason why.
I was trying, but I could not figure out any way to purchase it.
That's the reason why we want to get that mouse, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then of course here on the bottom we have an on and off switch. So that's pretty cool. As far as the RGB goes, the RGB is pretty dope on this mouse though. It kind of sucks though because your hand is always covering all the RGB, I guess, besides the scroll wheel. So we got RGB here on the scroll wheel, we got RGB where the logo is, and we have a kind of like underglow effect at the bottom of the mouse or the back of the mouse, which it looks great. I love the underglow effect on mice, but your hand is always covering it. But of course, it's a wireless mouse. I don't know why you'd ever want RGB on a wireless mouse.
So the battery life on here is actually only 30 hours, which I guess isn't shocking coming from like a $36 mouse. It's about half the life, a little under half the life of a Viper Ultimate or a G Pro wireless. So, I mean, battery life, it's, I guess, okay. Lasts you maybe a couple days. The charging's fast though, and the mouse actually weighs in at 70 grams. So we're gonna see if that stacks up.
Wow, okay, yeah, 70 grams.
On the dot.
On the dot.
Wow, that's actually pretty rare.
So it feels like average, I would say, like from comparing it to all the mice that have been coming out. Not super light, not super heavy. It's just like the sweet spot for me personally. So I like the weight. It feels nice, you know? So there's that. Moving on to the build quality. All right, so 36 bucks, what are you gonna get? Obviously not good build quality, and that's what you get on this mouse. You shake it, there's a little bit of rattling. I mean, that doesn't really matter all too much because you're not gonna be doing this when you're playing, but
yeah,
just for quality control, it's not that nice. The finish on here, it's okay, and the grain is a little bit finer than what you would find in a Razer Viper Ultimate, or I guess just like any Razer mouse, you know that like kind of coarse, a little bit more coarse grain. It's a little bit finer than that, so it feels a little bit smoother. And then here on the sides of the mouse, it looks like rubber side grips, but they're actually not. It's just plastic with like this texture on it. So
yeah, so I pretty much agree with everything here. And something to note about the rattling is you can hold just about everything on this mouse. Like you can hold on to the buttons, the side buttons, everything, and it still rattles regardless. So it's something literally internally that's rattling, which is a little bit jarring. But aside from that, I mean, it's okay. There's a ton of mouse wobble on there. It feels very scratchy if you end up bottoming out these buttons, which I guess you can do with just like a regular click. If you're like one of those caveman clickers, you know, you just kind of like smack the mouse down. You can definitely feel the scratching, like it's noticeable. So, I mean, build quality, yeah, I would say you get what you get for 36 bucks, you know? I mean, for 36 bucks, I wouldn't consider it horrible.
Yeah, so wrapping things up, if you're really strapped for cash, I mean, get it. You know, 36 bucks is pretty damn cheap, but we would recommend that you just save up like the 20-40 bucks and get a better mouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Model O wireless, for example, is what, like 80-90 bucks. And then if you save a little bit more, you can get the G Pro wireless or the Viper Ultimate, which is just way better. And that was the biggest issue with this mouse, is just the build quality, you know? Like it does everything pretty well, but like it can do a lot of things a lot better, you know? So
yeah, I think at this point, personally, I would just save the money. Save the money, get either a Model O, or if you want wireless, get a Model O wireless. Like save up the money. It's really not worth the 36 bucks. I seriously feel like you would go through 2-3 of these before you go through one Model O wireless.
Yeah, but anyways, that about wraps up our review. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.